Hello everyone and welcome back to another review. I'm going to be talking about SmackDown. As you guys know, I do never rarely ever do Raw reviews because I don't really pay attention to Raw. But yes, we'll be doing a SmackDown review and we'll be diving into my thoughts and opinions on the entire show. SmackDown continues to prove why it's the A show in my opinion. Because I mean, what else can be said about SmackDown? It is just so damn enjoyable. So the show began with its typical with the Roman Reigns cousin, Roman Reigns and cousin issues. The fact that this is the main headline. I mean, look, I get it. Roman, he is, he's our Universal Champion. But good lord, does he have to open every show? Now, I don't pay attention to Raw. Now, I don't really pay attention to Raw all that much, but I don't think Bobby Lashley opens every Raw. I could be wrong. He probably is. For all I know, he probably is. Because I'm not really paying attention to Raw. But all I'm saying is, I don't think Bobby Lashley opens every Raw. Why can't we have something else open SmackDown for a change? We don't need Roman Reigns and his little issues with the cousins. I like Roman as a heel, but I'm starting to get a little bit tad annoyed that he continues to open the shows. And Roman is now starting to wrestle less than he used to. He's becoming a bit like Bray Wyatt, where he wrestles less on SmackDown. Now, yes, obviously, it kind of helps. Because, if he's in the ring, we know he's going to win, right? When it comes to Roman Reigns, they're like, if he wrestles, we know he's going to win. He's not going to randomly lose on an episode of SmackDown. And by the way, Roman Reigns has yet to be pinned. He has yet to lose a single match since he's returned to WWE as well. So that's probably another thing that they want to keep going, that he has yet to lose. But yeah, Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso is continuing to, be defiant. And then Roman Reigns pushes Jimmy Uso into challenging Cesaro, and Cesaro gladly accepts. So Jimmy Uso is like a babyface still, but maybe they're doing the whole thing with Jey Uso all over again, but this time with Jimmy. Who knows? Then we get Natalya and Tamina, the first match on the night. Natalya and Tamina challenge Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for the Women's Tag Team Championships. And at long last, the Reign of Terror has come to an end. Tamina and Natalya win the Women's Tag Team Championships. Now, I want to get this off my chest real quick because I feel like some people are either furious or not understanding or feel like that these two don't deserve the belts just because of the V word. And the V word stands for veteran. Let me explain and let me get this off my chest. I personally do not mind Natalya and Tamina being the champions. Natalya, I still think she's a solid wrestler. I think she's still a solid wrestler. I think she can still go, despite her being a veteran. As for Tamina, well, I'm not the biggest fan of Tamina either. I'm not the biggest fan of her either, but I'm happy for her. She finally got her first women's championship. Because for some reason, people continuously think that the 24/7 title matters. She won her first women's championship in WWE, and I'm happy for her. Despite me not being a fan of her, I'm happy for her. I actually enjoyed this stuff that Tamina did last year with Sasha and Bayley. But the thing is, people like to use the term veteran a lot. I've heard some people say, they're veterans, they shouldn't be champions. Okay, so by that logic, you're saying you would rather two bums like Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler being champions for one, and number two, I'm glad the titles are now off Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, so then now they can finally start the feud that I've been waiting for. Shayna Baszler can easily blame this all on Nia. Nia was the one that got pinned. Nia did the honors and she put Tamina over, which is pretty nice of Nia, considering I've heard, Nia and Tamina are really close. Either they're close friends or they're relatives because of the Samoan heritage. I'm guessing Nia really wanted to give Tamina the honors. I guess Nia really wanted to give Tamina the honors to pin her. So that's what they did. And I'm okay with that. I'll give respect to Nia for doing that. She wanted to put somebody over, and you know what? Good for her. Good for her. She's still a bum, but good for Nia. But the main thing I keep hearing is that, oh, Natty and Tamina are veterans. They're veterans. They're veterans. Veterans shouldn't be holding championships. Then what the hell is Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode? Then what the hell is Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode then? I believe they're veterans. I believe they are veterans. And they are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Got anything to say about Roode and Ziggler? Got anything to say about the Dirty Dogs being the SmackDown Tag Team Champions? Gonna be upset about them being veterans and they're not helping the future? This may sound unpopular opinion, but in my opinion, veterans being champions actually helps. Because so then that way, the veteran team, who have been here for so long, and you're only considered a veteran if you've been there for so long. I'm assuming for about 10 years and over and such. Like Naomi, I guess. But they don't really call her a veteran. Despite her feeling like one. But the thing is, I feel like veterans being champions also helps, because then when you get a young team like a Liv Morgan and Ruby, a Dana and Nia, Dana and Mandy, excuse me, and then when you get a younger team to challenge these said veterans, then these said veterans can use their crafty tactics because they've been there for so long, and then the younger talent can overcome the big bad veterans. See? I prefer veterans being champions than two bumholes that clearly don't give a shit about those championships. When did Nia and Shayna ever once care for those titles? Did they ever tweet out about how much they love women's tag team wrestling? Did they ever tweet about how they love tag team wrestling? How they have always wanted to be in tag team wrestling? No. No, they never have. They've never talked about how they love being the tag team champions, or they have the passion to help the tag team division grow. They never once said anything like that. And you may say, well, they're heels. Of course they're going to say that. Well, I mean, out of character. I feel like they didn't give a shit about anything. So in my opinion, if you're going to complain about Tamina and Natalya being veterans and holding championships, I feel like you'd be saying the same thing about our good old Dirty Dogs, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Isn't AJ Styles a veteran? He's one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions. They're using the term veteran because someone's a champion is kind of a bit of a silly excuse now. Because if you're saying that, then, then a lot of people who are veterans have been champions before. Then I guess that means Randy Orton shouldn't be a champion because he's a veteran. He's been there since 2002. Big E, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens brought chaos to Apollo Crews' medal ceremony. You obviously know a ceremony is going to be ruined. For some reason, people thought Sami Zayn was going to be fired. Now, I don't know the full details of what he did, but I was seeing on Twitter all night last night is how people think WWE was going to fire Sami Zayn over for something. And here he is on SmackDown. I don't know what went on. For some reason, people thought he was going to be fired, and he wasn't. And also, Adam Pearce made a fatal 4-way for next week on SmackDown. But I also looked up that apparently it's also going to be on Backlash. So why are you doing a fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship at Backlash, but also doing that very same match next week on SmackDown? Unless they made a mistake. But unless there's a mistake made, that I got very confused, because apparently the Intercontinental Championship match is listed as a Backlash match, but it was also said it was going to be on SmackDown next week. I don't know if they made a mistake. I don't know if it's a botch. But apparently we're going to be getting 2 fatal 4-ways. I guess we'll see. Aleister Black did Chapter 3, The Lesson. Aleister Black has star written all over him, man, and I also heard the news. Speaking of Aleister Black, I heard the stories and the news about Zelina Vega possibly coming back to the WWE. I'm actually very happy for that, actually. I'm actually very happy to hear that Zelina Vega is coming back to the WWE. I'm looking forward to see what she's going to be doing when she does come back, if it is true or not. Aleister Black has star power written all over him. I actually am enjoying these vignettes they're doing of him. I'm actually really looking forward to his return. I hope one of his first opponents is Buddy Murphy. I'm actually hoping one of his first opponents is Buddy Murphy. Even though Aleister Black will most likely defeat Murphy, I'd be down for that, because, you know, it'd be a good match. Speaking of things that I don't give a shit about when it comes to being on SmackDown, that is Rey Mysterio versus Dolph Ziggler. Oh, look at this! 2 veterans facing each other. Ooh! Bad to have veterans. Bad to have veterans holding championships. But yet Rey Mysterio is classified as a veteran, and he could possibly win the titles with his son. Veteran Dolph Ziggler versus veteran Rey Mysterio, and veteran Robert Roode sitting on the outside. I don't know why Robert Roode couldn't wrestle, because Dolph Ziggler wrestled last week. But anyway, I didn't really care for this match. Rey Mysterio won, which surprised me. Because it's telling us maybe the Dirty Dogs retain at Backlash. I doubt it, but it'd be really cool to see the Dirty Dogs retain. Because I do not want to see the Mysterios as my tag team champions. I would rather the veterans. So in that way the veterans can put over a younger team. Bianca and Bayley engage in war of words before their big match. Now, I'm not feeling Bianca Belair right now as the champion. Ever since WrestleMania, now yes, there was a 6-person tag before you tell me, yes, she did wrestle, but ever since she won that title, all she's done is promos. I get it, she's a good promo, she's a good talker. But she's done nothing but promos since winning that championship. Yes, Sasha technically kind of did the same thing. But at least she wrestled every now and then. Now look, I'm giving Bianca a fair shake. She's still new. She's still fresh off of being champion. I'm not going to complain about her yet. I'm not going to say she's a bad champion or a boring champion. This is going to be her first title defense coming at Backlash. I know Bianca and Bayley will deliver a great match. I know they will deliver a great match. I know that. But I really want to see Bianca wrestle a little bit more on SmackDown. I don't want a champion constantly coming out every week flapping their gums about how, I'm the BEST and yada yada yada, you know? Why don't you prove to us you're the B-E-S-T instead of telling us you're the B-E-S-T? That's really all I'm trying to say here. I really want Sasha Banks to come back, man. I miss Sasha. The fact that she's been gone from television since WrestleMania is really appalling, and it's really sad. I really hope she comes back soon. Because I don't know who else you give Bianca. After she beats Bayley, who are you going to give her next? Carmella? Liv Morgan? Ruby Riott? Sure, that won't be bad matches. Mia Yim? Who else are you going to give Bianca Belair after she beats Bayley? You going to continue the feud with Bayley? It's the only sense that makes sense. If you've got nobody else for her, you may as well continue her feud with Bayley. But that's only my little small complaints about Bianca. She cuts way too many. They've had her cut way too many promos, reminding us how she's the B-E-S-T. Why don't you prove it? Why don't you prove us you're the B-E-S-T instead of telling us you are? It's really all I'm trying to say. But I'm going to give her a fair chance before I really give my full opinions on Bianca as champion. Maybe I'll give her a couple of months. King Corbin and Nakamura battled. Don't really care. Corbin won. Of course he did. Vince McMahon has a boner for Baron Corbin. I don't know why. Baron Corbin is boring. He's not a good wrestler. He's trash. This King of the Ring gimmick has ran its course. But Nakamura would take Corbin's crown and put it on his head. So it seems like they could be feuding over the crown. Great. Wade Barrett and R-Truth all over again. And our main event was Cesaro and Jimmy Uso. Cesaro would win by disqualification, and then Roman Reigns would come out. He would cause the disqualification. He wanted Jimmy Uso to acknowledge him, but Jimmy Uso wanted none of it. Cesaro stood tall at the end of the show. I really thought maybe Roman was going to stand tall, but because of his constant arguing with his cousins, Cesaro ended up standing tall at the end. So it makes me think, even though I would love Cesaro to win, it makes me think Roman Reigns is going to retain. Hopefully they do give Cesaro his big moment eventually, but I just can't see Roman Reigns dropping that title, probably not until SummerSlam. Or maybe until next year, who knows? Who knows how long he'll be champion for. But I don't think he'll drop the title on a show like Backlash. But anyway, that is all I've got for you guys for this SmackDown review. I hope you guys enjoyed. And hit that thumbs up if you guys did enjoy. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below. And I will see you all next time.